Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Navy. A couple of months ago, I decided to make the decision to join the Navy. Okay, so now first question is, why did I join the military at all? Okay, a lot of reasons. What first made me start thinking about it was I'm currently a senior in high school, and we had two recruiters from the Marines come to my 6th period class and talk to us. And even after that, I wasn't completely thinking about, hey, yeah, I want to join the military. But just the thought kind of, just kind of came, kind of passed. It was whatever. Okay? So then, it was actually at that very time that we had received a new novel in my AP Literature class to start reading. Okay? This book is called The Things They Carried. Forgot the author's name. No, Tim O'Brien. Yes, the book is written by Tim O'Brien. Okay? Tim O'Brien was in the Army, like in his real life. He was in the Army. And so he wrote this book from the perspective of someone in the Army, okay, during, I think this was during the Vietnam War. Yes, that's correct. So he was just talking about it, and the book, probably my second favorite book. Like, it's just so powerful, and the way, even if you're not into, like, the war or whatever, the writing itself is, I mean, it's good literature. Okay, so you should really read it. I said it was my second favorite. My first favorite is probably Looking for Alaska by John Green. That's a powerful book. It's just so good. But anyways, so after reading that book, I was like, oh my gosh, and then I really started thinking about it. But the problem was, how was I gonna tell my parents? Like, my mom is going to flip her, okay, she's gonna nut up, basically. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, how can I bring this up to her? Just like casually. So one day I was in her room, we were laying on her bed, whatever, she was like playing games on her phone, like she always does, because she's addicted. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go back to my room and read my book. And I was hoping that she would ask what book I was reading so I could bring it up, and luckily she did. And she was like, "Oh, what book are you reading?" And I was like, it's called The Things They Carried, and it kind of makes me want to join the military. Just sort of, in case you didn't like that idea, it would maybe sound sarcastic. And then she actually stopped looking at her game, which was a miracle in and of itself. And she looked down at me. She's like, oh, really? And I was like, so I just went with it. I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And I was like, really? Like, I couldn't believe her reaction. She was actually proud about that, and she thought it was a wonderful idea. So I was like, yay. And so she told my dad, and my dad asked me about it, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, cool. And my sister was, she was like, awesome. And so then I had to tell my grandmother on my mom's side, my mom's mom. Okay, so I asked her out to lunch one day whenever I was off of school. So we went to Little Tokyo. Me, and my sister came with, and I told her. And at first I was like, Granny, I have something to tell you. And she was like, okay. And I was like, and I just stared at her for a long time, and I was like, it's kind of serious, but I've got some big news. And she was like, okay. And I was like, I'm joining the Navy. And then she was like, and she just had it for a minute. She said, okay. And I was like, what did you think I was going to tell you? And my sister was like, did you think she was pregnant? And my granny was like, no. She's like, well, the thought passed through my mind, but I didn't think that. I thought you were going to tell me you were getting married. And I was like, with what boyfriend? But yeah. So she was proud about that. So next, I called my Uncle Larry, my oldest mom's older brother, and I told him, and he thought that was good. And so then the next step was telling my grandparents on my dad's side, my Nana and Papa. And so we were out at dinner for because it was my Granny Clark's birthday, my Nana's mom, and so I decided to tell everyone because like pretty much that whole side of the family was there. So I told them, and everyone was supportive except my Nana. And I was like, pretty much, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, she wanted to argue with me about it, and she was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am. And she's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am. Who are you to tell me? So then she's like, you better be glad I'm not your mama. I'm like, I'm sorry, but who does that? Like, who says that? And then I had another argument another day about it when she asked me about if I was joining or if I was what college I was going to go to in fall or whatever. And I was like, I just sat there. I was like, is she being sarcastic? Is she playing dumb? I was like, I'm not going to college. And she was like, what are you going to do? And I sat there again. I was like, is she stupid? I was like, I'm joining the Navy. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're still doing that? And I was like, yeah, I am. I just, no. So I just don't even talk about that to her. So now pretty much everyone knows, and if they don't know, they'll come to find out. So, whatever. So, now, so that was, whatever. I'm making a video. And I don't even know how to edit that out, but anyway. So that was me telling the news to my parents and my family. So, and why I decided to join the military. Okay, the next question you may have is, why did you decide to join the Navy over the other branches? Well, in all honesty, I really don't have a reason other than just some simple little kind of, maybe some people may think they're dumb. But for one, nobody in my family has ever been in any branch of the military except for my papa, my dad's dad. He's the only one I know of, okay? And he was in the Navy. So that's one. And the second is, up until 3 months ago, I was dating someone in the Navy. Okay, my ex-boyfriend, he joined last August, and he's currently in A school. And we dated for a year, and which was about 4 months of that he was in the Navy, and I didn't see him at all. But I did write him letters every single day that he was in boot camp. So the Navy is the branch that I know the most about because I dated someone in the Navy. He was always talking about it and whatnot, so I feel like I knew the most about that branch. So that was another reason. And I think that's really it of specific to that. And because I felt like it was like in the middle of the spectrum of all the branches. Like Marines is, well, and the Navy SEALs, okay? To me, the Marines and the Navy SEALs are like the badasses, okay? And then, not to offend anyone, but the Air Force, like, if you think of a girl joining the military, you think they're going to the Air Force because they're more, I don't know, like, their basic training time is the least amount out of all the branches. And so that's why I was like, no. If that's, what somebody, they think a girl's going to join that branch, then I'm not doing it. And then I didn't want to join the Army because everyone and their mother joins the Army. Like at my school, freaking everybody's going to the Army. I'm the only person I know of that's going to the Navy this year at my school. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's why I joined. That's how I told my parents, and that's why I chose the Navy. So, okay, so the next step was to get a recruiter who So I called them and I was like, hey, I want to join. And so the lady asked me, you know, the standard questions like, am I ADHD? Do I have any tattoos? Which I do. So I got to get a waiver for those. I just like other like standard questions. So anyway, I passed that part. So then she's like, okay, I'll set you up a date with a recruiter, who is Petty Officer Williams. Okay. And unfortunately, I do not have a recruiting office in my town, so I have to drive an hour to go there, even though every other branch does have a recruiting office here in this town. Navy's the only one that doesn't. I don't know why. But anyway, that's one thing I hate about that is I have to drive an hour. But so I set up an appointment with him, and I took a practice ASVAB. Okay, that was the only thing I did at my first appointment with my recruiter. So the next step was to take the ASVAB. Well, they were offering it at my school. So a month ago, January 29th, I took my ASVAB. Okay, I was like, I screwed it up. There was a whole section dedicated to light bulbs. I was like, failed that. There was a whole section dedicated to auto. Failed that. I just knew I did. Like, I didn't know what the crap anything was on that. Luckily, your AFQT, wait, AFTQ? I don't know, but your ASVAB actual score does not include those things. It only includes 4 parts. Arithmetic reasoning, mathematics skills, paragraph reasoning or summary or something, and vocabulary. So I finally just got my ASVAB score back 2 days ago. So it took a month almost, which is stupid. But I finally got my scores back, and I did not do terrible, but I'm pretty sure I could have done a lot better than I did. I made a 75. Now that is considered a really good score, but for me personally, I was like, ugh. But whatever, I'll take it because a lot of people failed. Like, they can't even get in. You have to have at least a 50. One girl I know, she made a 48. That really sucks for her. So she's gonna have to retake it. Let's see what else. So I took my ASVAB, and my recruiter got my scores also. Every branch of the military gets your scores whenever they come in. So like I had someone from the Air Force actually call my house later that night and was like, they wanted to speak to me. And my mom answered the phone. She's like, well, she's joining the Navy. And he was like, is that in concrete? You know, he wanted to talk me out of it, but I'm not going to. I'm sticking with Navy. But he just wanted to congratulate me at least on my ASVAB scores. So that was nice. So then my recruiter, I called him, you know, and he got my scores, and he said, okay, now come to my office. He wants me to go next Tuesday, so that's in 3 days. I'm going to go, and that's whenever I'm going to do all my paperwork, okay? Then whenever I get all that done, later that week, so in 1 week, I will go to MEPS. I'm pretty sure it's next weekend anyway. I'll leave that Thursday, and I'll get there that night and spend that in the hotel. And then Friday is whenever I'll go through all my MEPS processing. So, I'm not really sure how that's going to go, but I'll make a video about MEPS after I get done with that. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know. I mean, I'm mostly just excited, though. But I'm scared I'm going to, like, get, you know, DQ'd over something really stupid. Or either, you know, have to go back and do it again. I don't know. I just hope, you know, nothing like that happens. But, so that's where I'm at currently in my whole Navy whatever. So the next step is get my paperwork done and then go into MEPS. So after I go to MEPS, I'll update this video and tell you about my experience there. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just comment, or you can inbox me, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. Thanks.